Welcome back to Major Impact on the Connect Network TV, right here, where we are bringing you inspiring individuals who are making a major impact in the world. So today we have international speaker, entrepreneur, success strategist, and the #1 record-breaking national sales director. Please help me welcome Mrs. Gloria Mayfield Banks to the show.
Oh my
we
goodness.
are so honored to have you. I am excited.
I'm excited to be with you guys. I love meeting all these brand new, fabulous new girlfriends. So I'm excited to be here with you.
We are so excited.
Yes. So let's get started because we want to hear more about you. So you have so many accomplishments, and I forgot to mention that you are the author of Quantum Leap. So we here at the Connect Network, we believe in doing our research and celebrating you and giving you your flowers. So please tell us about your record-breaking career and what led you to write Quantum Leaps. And also, we did our research. I'm about to tell y'all something. Miss Gloria is known for having $70,000 to $100,000 income months on a repeat. Okay, so we have our ears open. Please share with us. Get your notebooks, get your pen.
I'm so excited you brought that up as the entry in because I'm super passionate about. You guys, do you know that 92% of women that work make less than $100,000 a year?
Wow.
No, I didn't know that.
Exactly. It is a big deal out here. So to make $100,000 a month on repeat is something that I really want to teach other people how to do. Let me tell you something. My entrepreneurial venture was not in the plans. I went to Harvard Business School to be in the C-suites. I was clearly ready to do that. And I discovered while I was on my way up to the C-suites that the ceiling wasn't glass, it was brick. So I was like, And so really, honestly, you guys, my very first day at Harvard Business School, I started with a black eye because I was in 10 years of domestic violence and no one knew it. No one knew. My mother, who I'm very close to at the time, my sisters, I was close to people, but no one knew it because you stay behind the doors. And the biggest problem with domestic violence is silence, for sure. So that was my deal. And so when I went the divorce situation, I had a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old, 13 months apart, and I really need to make some extra money. I just happened to go down to my girlfriend's house who just happened to have a Mary Kay skincare class. And I just happened to buy some products that I couldn't afford at the time. So I thought, and I was a well-paid executive. I just want to be real clear with that. I was not someone who didn't have it. I just wanted more. And that's why I really love women who want more, because to me, more means that you can give more. So bottom line, I started just to make an extra $200 a week. Seriously. I had a very small vision for what I wanted to do with this. I wasn't thinking about entrepreneurship. And 5 months later, I earned my first car and it was on from then. Like on.
That's right.
It was
on from then, okay?
Oh my goodness. I don't think any of that is a coincidence, but that's amazing.
It was very exciting. It was very exciting.
Wow.
So, when you asked me about that book, Quantum Leaps, I think the first thing that happened was to have a big win. And then once you start to have wins, you can start to build on the wins. And I was speaking, I'm honored to be a keynote speaker at many companies. And so I was speaking and a guy came over to me afterwards and he said, you should write a book. I was like, I am not writing a book. Number one, I'm dyslexic. So I'm not writing a book. And okay, so he chased me, you guys. Seriously, he chased me for 4 years. Write a book. No, not writing a book. But because I had broken the largest team in the company, because I was number one for 6 years in a row out of 3.5 million women in 40 countries, because I had the largest income, cumulative or monthly, in the company, because I had a large team, because I was internationally in 8 different countries at the same time, I decided to write it about how to have a record-breaking quantum leap performance. And the reason I felt okay doing that is because not only had I done it, but I had mentored so many other women to do the same thing. It's one thing when you do it. It's another thing when you can teach other people how to do the same thing.
You better go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
That's when you know. Yes,
Yes.
that's when you know you've got it, when you've really got it. That
Yeah.
is so amazing. And, you know, we've all seen Mary Kay, right? We've all grown up with it, right? We've all seen it. You know, I'm sure my mom had bought some things. So it is so amazing to see what the back end of it, you know, really looks like.
Yes.
And how this was really your way out. So I really want to ask you, what would you say to the women who are struggling to find their purpose or may not have considered entrepreneurship because they don't have a similar background to you as far as work experience and your amazing Harvard degree? What path can they take?
You know, the first thing I always tell people is that you have to understand there's a this and a this, not a this or that. So a lot of people stop from doing what they could do because they feel like they have to give up what they're currently doing. And there's a lot of fear in giving up what you're doing. And I always tell people you're stuck in the comfort zone, which is not comfortable, which is why you're looking to get out of it. However, I believe you can do anything for a short period of time as long as you don't have to do it for the rest of your life. It would have been hard for me to do it forever, both things. But I was not in a situation where I could give up my good paying job and start an entrepreneurship separately. So I did my job during the day and I did my entrepreneurship in the evening. Now, my selection was network marketing, direct selling. However, this applies to so many people that are trying to do entrepreneurship. There's so much capacity we have in our day that we don't think we have because we spent all day doing something that drains our energy. So if you stop thinking about it, how it's draining your energy, and you go with a place where you're passionate, passion immediately restores the energy that you have to give out. And so that's how you can do both. So the first thing I would tell people is to get the mindset that you can do two things at the same time. And eventually one will outweigh the other.
Absolutely.
Man, that speaks to me.
Yes.
That is my story.
I love that, right?
Oh my God.
And this, because I do think a lot of people have a this or that mentality,
Right.
but you can have both of them. Okay.
Right.
And that is such a great confidence builder. Speaking of confidence, you do a lot of work around confidence building. What role does confidence play in success?
Okay, I'll tell you this. I was sitting there. You ever sit in your office sometime and you just think, what is it? What is it? How can I get other people to outperform their current situation? What is it? And so I was sitting there and it's confidence. Everywhere you look about it, everything you see it, every time you talk to somebody, they're going to say confidence, confidence, confidence. So I always say, once you have your faith in place and you have integrity in place, the third characteristic that's so critical is confidence. And so I teach it over and over and over again. And a key component is confidence in one area does not mean confidence in all areas. You just have to know that it can be something that you can develop in different areas. And it takes courage to build confidence. And once you have more confidence, you can make bigger choices. So I call it the 3 C's. Courage, confidence leads to wider, bigger choices. And when you can do that, you can take it away faster because it's what pours into you. And confidence is always rebuilt. Because once you get confident, you guys know you're going to get to a level. And then you start again like, oh my gosh, I'm at this level. You have to rebuild your confidence again. Like, okay, I'm at this level. So it's not something you attain. It's something you're always working for.
Oh, we just love you. We just love you. And let me just say what you said of these tangible things people can do with their mindset, you know, working full-time at your job and part-time on your fortune, and that network marketing, baby, that was organo, you know, was network marketing kind of led me to my path. And so I love the fact that you're saying it started here, but then I made it my own, baby. Right. Okay. I'm performing. You better go ahead.
Exactly. That is such a big deal because some people don't understand the value of personal development. Some people don't understand the value of other people being around them. And some people truly don't understand the value of acknowledgement and recognition. And that's what we get a lot of. We get a lot of acknowledgement for what we've done and a lot of recognition that fills your soul so much with fire that you want to do more.
I'm excited about that.
And you know, when I was a single parent, and I want to talk to single parent women out there because there's 2 ways you can look at this world. You can either be a downtrodden single parent. Let me tell you something. When I got a divorce, a friend of mine said to me, everyone I know who's been through a divorce either gets uglier or prettier. I was like, let me just clear up that right there. So I became very vigilant about who I was going to become in the process, not who I was going to become in the process. So I was a single parent for 7 years, then went down to Florida, took my kids to Disney, because you don't get the Mother of the Year award if you don't take your kids to Disney, and went to a theme park called Wet and Wild and met my husband, Ken Banks, there, and he saw me and I saw him. And you guys, seriously, in 15 minutes of saying hello, he said to me, well, I just want to let you know I'm never getting married again. I just want to let you know. And I said, okay, that's cool. Thank you. But don't talk to me, because if you talk to me, you're going to fall in love. And I'm getting married in 5 years. So we got married in 6 years. And we've been married for 33 years. And I just want to tell you guys that the confidence is what drew him in. And the confidence is what drew me to him.
Man, I thought you just gave so many women just a extra boost of just it happen if you just proclaim it, you view it, you believe it. And so from student to case study, now we're going to talk about, I want to dig in a little bit deeper. So you are such a success story that Harvard has now done a whole case study on you. So how did you go from, child dealing with dyslexia to now being, a national executive and writing multiple books?
I know. When people talk about it, I'm like, wow.
You're like, is that me?
Exactly. I'm just like, it was such an honor in so many ways to go back to Harvard Business School, to sit in the back of the room and listen to them to do a case study on me. And then they say, well, she just happens to be in the room. And I just want to tell you that as she comes down to the front of the room to talk to you, she will probably make more money than all of you in this classroom right then. And it was mind-blowing. When I was in the 7th grade, they found out I was dyslexic. And it was a challenging time because both my parents were teachers at some time. And my mother in particular, I'm the third of 4 girls, and all of us are entrepreneurs. And we didn't have any entrepreneurship in our background. But she would stay up with me night after night after night. Gloria, you can do this. Gloria, you can read. Gloria, you can do this math. Because she did not know that I had an issue, a real issue with reading. And so eventually we got help, and it's always been a struggle for me, always. Even when I was at Harvard, it was a big struggle for me because, of course, I didn't tell them that I had dyslexia, that I was dyslexic. So the teacher took me into the room once and he said, what is it? Because you're smart, but you don't test well. And I was a horrible tester. So I always tell people, because people are listening to us. They're really listening. That's why your story is so important. And that people, because being dyslexic, I don't even know how to say it sometimes. It's everywhere. And so they have to know that people who are dyslexic have been tested as being very smart. They just have a challenge with reading and numbers. And that was my case. So I did excel because it brought out other challenges. A challenge brings out places for you to excel. So it brought a lot of opportunities. It brought up the gift of gab. It brought up the light that you need to be seen in. And therefore, Harvard caught me again and did a whole case study on me. And it's taught at textbooks throughout the world.
Talk about
Come on, textbooks. We love it.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yes. No, but I think that's also an important part to speak up, that you have to sometimes communicate what you're dealing with so that people can help you, and don't see it as a negative thing, but as something that you have a challenge with and you might need your community to help you. Right. So I'm glad that somebody took interest, because so many children who struggle with dyslexia don't have that teacher who takes an interest, and they just struggle, right? But somebody stood up and said, I know that you're a bright person. I just need to know, how can I help you? So what's the most important message you want to get across to women? If you had to sum it up, what's the main thing we should focus on?
Well, if I had to sum it up, I would tell most women who want more, who need to identify that more is there, is that it's emotional management. 9 times out of 10, it is emotional management that stops women from going from A to B or going from A to Z. We get so caught up in here. You have to understand the masterpiece that comes when you put your body in the place and the space where it's going to be shifted. And when you see other people, role models in front of you doing different things, It makes a difference. My ability to laugh at myself and talk out loud about the fact that I'm dyslexic, my ability to say to other people, I'm smart, I'm successful, I'm wealthy. However, I dealt with 10 years of domestic violence. For me to be able to say that to other people allows people to see that whatever they're struggling with, and all of us struggle with something. I don't care what Instagram says. All of us struggle with something.
Look, tell the truth.
Okay, tell the truth. And it is so important that women understand, to me, confidence is required, but emotional management is the ticket to your magic.
That's good.
I like that. That's so important. Something I've heard you say is super bad all day long. So, we want to know, what does that mean to you? Because I hear it all the time. We know that's your thing.
Yeah.
So what is something we can do to be super bad all day long?
Well, first, super bad means unapologetically powerful. Like you need to know when you walk in the room that the lights don't turn on until you get there. They just don't turn on. If you can assume that in your head, you can walk in at a different space and you can walk in at a different place. Because I always tell people, when you walk away from a circle, they're going to talk about you. So you need to decide what they're going to say. Super bad all day long means I am going to honestly be okay and not apologize with the fact that I'm ambitious. I'm not going to apologize with the fact that I know I have a deeper capacity than I've shown thus far. I'm not going to apologize for the fact that I like to work. Someone asked me the other day, well, why do you want to work? I said, because I love working. I love working. She said, well, therefore it's not work. You're absolutely right. I work in my passion and therefore it's not work. But I love the fact to work with women who are not going to let anybody dim their light. You have to understand, you adopt the philosophy of super bad all day long before you become super bad all day long.
Come on.
Okay, I'm ready.
Listen, come on, somebody. We just love you.
I'm just going to wake up and say I'm super bad all day long.
Exactly.
I woke up like that.
Exactly. You wake up like that. Absolutely.
And you literally just confirmed, and it's one thing that we say is when you find your gift, you'll never work a day again in your life. So when it's your passion, it's like, this is not work. This is what I was built for this. I was born for this. We love it.
Exactly. And that's why I tell people that we have much more capacity than we know if we take the time to identify the gifts. And here's the thing. It's hard for people to identify gifts if they continue to pay attention where people have told them they're not gifted. You can't pay attention to what other people tell you about yourself. You have to be self-aware. We talked about that earlier. Awareness is very important. Everybody has gifts. And if you compare yourself to someone else, I promise you, you won't find your gifts. Promise you. The joy comes when you stop comparing and you sit quietly and figure out what your gifts are and know without a doubt that your gift is needed and there's abundance of need for it.
And you really lean into that. One thing I do want to ask you is, you mentioned earlier that you have to build confidence with every level you get to.
Right.
So how do you, let's say you have success, right? And you did it 6 years in a row, so many years. How do you build confidence when you've gotten there to then keep going? Because that's when the doubt comes, right? Once you've had success, you're like, can I do it again? What's going to happen, right? Am I going to drop down? Did I just get lucky? So how can you help women to really re-believe in themselves at that new level?
Yes. I love that because I was there. We become good teachers because we had that path before. I was there where I became successful. And then I started questioning myself. Was it a fluke? Did I do it for real? Blah, blah, blah. A girlfriend came over to me and she just banged on her table. She said, you do it again because you can do it again. It was a wake-up call for me in that way. But I want to tell you that the majority of success and confidence is built on small successes, not large successes. And Martin Luther King, I love his quote that says, stop focusing on the staircase and focus on the next step. So if a person really wants to build their confidence and they really want to feel success now, they'll learn how to set the appropriate target. It is a bigger target than they've achieved, yet it's not an impossible target. It's going to stretch them and require more of them. But the minute they hit that target, they set another target. Remember, a lot of people just work without a target. A lot of people work without a target, and therefore they never master hitting the target. Therefore, they never feel progress. Therefore, they can't build their confidence.
That's it. That's it.
That's it right there, because it is the small steps, right, that equal the big ones. And sometimes we don't even realize how monumental it's going to be until you look back, right? Hindsight is 2020. But when you accomplish the $100,000 month and then you do it again and do it again, you knew you did that because you broke down the goal, right? I need to sell this much per day, or I need to inspire my associates and my team to sell this much per day. That's how we make $100K in a month. But everyone gets so overwhelmed by the $100,000 month or the $100,000 day that they don't break it down. And so I love how you just said it's the small successes. So that is so good. And I know Ellie, she's asking that question because she is the CEO of a multi-million-dollar business year after year. So I know that's what you were thinking, Ellie, but I love that you were constantly.
I'm like, let me advice right now because, well, you know, sometimes, and I really admire you. I love that you came to the show, and I definitely feel like you were here today for a reason. Because we all need messages right on time, and I think that this message definitely came right on time. You know, we're going into a new year. Q4 is the time to, you know, rearrange and think about, okay, am I going to do it again? Can I do it again? So thank you for those words. I'm sure that it's encouraging to me and so many women that are listening.
Yes,
I do want to say too that as we go into the new year, sometimes we stay focused on the same thing, and sometimes we have to make a decision that it's okay, that I've been focusing on the wrong thing and I need to make a change. And that takes as much courage as anything else. So you have to evaluate, although you've been working hard on it and it hasn't happened for you, it may be not because of you, it may be because of the wrong thing you're applying it to. So just take a look at that as something that could be an option for you to switch direction, because that takes as much courage as it takes to stay on the same direction you were fighting.
Love it.
Listen, I think your ex-husband is in a corner somewhere crying his eyes out. We are so honored that you were here today to share your gems, and just this experience alone has really inspired all of us. And I want our viewers to know, how can they join your community and learn more about you, because they need to get some more of this tea on a regular basis.
I love that. Thank you. I would love them to follow me on Instagram at Gloria Banks. You can also, of course, find me on my Facebook page, Gloria Mayfield Banks page. But I will tell you, if you come and let me know that you want to be, or you are already super bad all day long, that's what sparks my nerves. That's what really gets me super excited, because I honestly believe that it's not important that you get to the table. It's important that you get to the table and turn around and bring somebody else to the table. And when you bring someone else to the table, that's when you feel your soul fulfilled with the more. That's why more is important, because you only get more if you're willing to give more, and you can't give what you don't possess.
That look, nothing else. Drop the mic. Like, seriously, thank you so much. You know, God will bless you to be a blessing. And so we just appreciate you being here, sharing your story with us, sharing your testimony, and just leading by example, like, you know, being excellent on purpose. So thank you so much.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, so don't go far, DMV, because when we come back, we are speaking to our next guest, former NFL player. So stay tuned. He is now an international speaker and coach, Anthony Trucks, and he is going to be coaching us on how to make a shift happen as he shares his secrets to success. Stay tuned.